Really not sure how to start this video or even what to say in this video. Thursday, we lost Mr. Diesel. We took a lot of time to just kind of reflect and just take some time to deal with the situation. Diesel, he was 16, right? 15, 16? He was 16.
He was 16 and we were trying to, it's funny, I didn't really know his birthday because I rescued him when he was really young.
Diesel was like kind of the dog. We always joked that Marley was the cockroach. But like we always thought Marley was gonna outlive all of us. Diesel, he was like interesting because he was like a puppy up until
he was like 13.
Yeah, and then
14.
all of a sudden he just kind of like got old.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know if anyone noticed, like he was just always rambunctious, jumping and running, and then it felt like overnight. It was like
I feel like it's been like over the past year.
Yeah.
You got old.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Marley was the same way. She was kind of like, just got old real fast.
We just had a rough 3 months. It all kind of started back actually, like when we went to Playlist.
Oh, we had the big scare.
Yeah, I ended up leaving Playlist early, and a lot of people were curious as to why I left early, and it was because Diesel was having a hard time, and he was like yelping in the middle of the night, and so I left, and I came home early. Car stayed, and I brought him home, and he was doing great with me, and then he started doing the same thing in the middle of the night. And at that point, Diesel had started to lose weight because, believe it or not, he has like dementia. Like dogs can have dementia, which is something we didn't know, but he kind of got like, he got diagnosed with that like a couple of months prior to that. He would forget sometimes to eat like once a day, you know, which is very normal.
Yeah, we
and
were on
so,
top of that with the doctors.
Yeah, we were, I mean, I was at the doctors all the time, the vet. But so we found out he was just kind of like his medication that he was on was a little too strong for, well, we didn't know that. I came home and he had a really hard night, and I walked outside and I thought there was something severely wrong, and so I called Char and I said, you gotta get home right now. I think there's something wrong with Diesel. And I ended up calling my vet, and you know, he ended up, it was so weird. It was like he was horrible, and then all of a sudden he like, it took like an hour or two, and I was just like laying with him, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to say goodbye today. And then he was fine, and he was like doing great. He did great, and that was back in September. He was doing really good, and like, you know, he was having some troubles at night sleeping, and we figured out it was his medication. And then he was doing great because we took him off of certain medication because his body was just functioning different.
Well, it's because I think we were prescribed for medication with
at a different weight, yeah.
And then he got severe.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it just happens. It happens a lot. So, anyways, we figured that out, and he was doing great, but you know, he still had dementia, whatever. About a year ago, we started having these like weird like tremors, chatters, and they call them focal seizures. So we started having those focal things, and like we kept up on that one a lot to make sure he was okay. I mean, I think I got him. My vet is amazing. Like
they get him in like instantly.
Adore my vet. They're just so good. I had him at the vet like getting him checked up like once every 2 weeks, just because I was like, I just want to make sure he's okay, and I don't want him to be hurting.
Focal seizures aren't something that's debilitating.
No, it's not.
It's something I didn't even know he was there.
It was just more like, I don't even know how to really explain him. It's just like teeth chattering.
Yeah, it's almost like you're really, really cold.
Yeah, it's not like he's not aware. It doesn't like stop his body, or like it's not like what a grand mal seizure is. I feel like a lot of people think of what grand mal, you know, it takes over your whole body. Well, this one, those did not. I was back in September that all that went down, and he ended up getting better, and we realized he didn't need to be on that medication anymore. He was doing great, you know, but then his hips started getting a little bit worse, and you know, he had to do yada yada, and we brought him, you know, he was just having trouble standing up more, trouble walking, and you know,
Thanks, old dogs.
he was just getting old. And then we went to Disney, and he stayed with my mom again, and I was, she called us at one point and said, he's not eating, and I asked if I needed to come home, and she's like, no, don't worry, just stay there, it's fine. And I said, I think I'm gonna come home. And so I drove home Monday around like 4:45 a.m. from Orlando. I got to my mom's house, and he had like gone to the bathroom and he slipped in it, and he was like so panicked. Like it was like I don't know how to explain it. It was like he was just so panicked. I ended up calling my vet, and I just said, this is what's going on. I really want to get him examined again, because I ended up cleaning him up, and he ended up like.
The weirdest part is we were there the Saturday or Friday just before.
Yeah, and he was fine.
It was fine.
He was fine, and the week prior, he was fine. He didn't wake up during the night or anything. I called Char and I let him know what was going on. I was like, I think he's just like nervous. He doesn't know it because of the dementia. Maybe he doesn't remember my mom's house anymore, and maybe he's just like nervous. I cleaned him all up and I brought him home. I got him into our house, and as soon as I got him into our house, he was like, great. My mom and my dad and my sister were all so helpful, and they were like, you need to go back to Disney with Charles and Remy, because Charlie was like, I'm gonna come home, and I'm like, no, we've promised Remy this, like I gotta be a mom too. And I said just go. And my mom and my dad and my sister were like, no, we'll take shifts just to keep an eye on him. I ended up driving back to Orlando, kind of like hesitantly. My mom, my sister, and my dad kind of like took shifts with him, and he was great. Like he was great the whole time here. And we ended up coming home that night because I told Char, I'm like, and he said he didn't want to stay either, but I'm like, I can't stay here tonight. I'll call Shelly and I'll drive up again tomorrow and I'll go see her. And Char agreed. He thought we should come home. So we came home after Disney, walked to the door. My dad was sitting on the couch, Diesel was laying down. I walked up and I pet him. He knew who I was and he knew who Char was, and he like instantly like wagged his tail, which made me feel really good, And that night he just had a really bad night. He would yelp and all this stuff, and I was like, something doesn't feel right. I was up all night with him. And this was like my third night in a row that I hadn't slept. And so the next day, Charles was like, we should go to the beach. And so I took him to the beach, and he just loved it. But I could just tell he was so tired. But I was like, I'm gonna get him checked out on Thursday. And, we'll go from there. We'll see how he's doing. And so then that night after the beach, because he had such a great time at the beach, he just loved laying in his wagon and smelling the air and stuff. We were at the dog beach.
He walked in the ocean.
He got to walk in the ocean. And he looked so happy, didn't he? Like he looked like really content. I haven't seen him like that.
Remy showed him some sand.
Oh yeah, she did. So that would be Wednesday night.
Yeah.
He just had the worst night I've ever seen him have, and it was like horrible because he was yelping every time he would lay down. He would like yelp and like do something weird with his body.
What they say it was?
Well, I was seizures.
Yeah, he was having seizures.
Like bad seizures. Because they said that he probably has a brain tumor or something. Oh, but that night it was just a really bad night. Thankfully they let me know that the seizures, he wasn't in pain.
Painless. The yelping was because he wasn't in pain, but he was confused.
Yeah.
When I had seizures, I would always wake up confused.
Yeah.
But because I'm a human being, I'm able to articulate what's going on and how I feel. An animal has them, they're just going to be confused. And unfortunately, he would yelp.
I just had to do the right thing, and it sucks because I wasn't ready, but it's not about me. I'm just so heartbroken.
The worst part is that
I'm just devastated.
we could tell it was happening, but then it just happened. That one night after the beach, I'm so happy that Remy wanted to bring Diesel to the beach, because that was the night that everything...
It was bad.
I think he just knew. I think he just wanted to do that with us one last time.
I just had him for so long. I feel like if you don't own an animal, maybe you don't understand, or maybe you do, I don't know. But he's gone through so much life with me, and I don't know how, like you, like how I would have gotten through things without him, like Zoe and Marley, you know. I just miss him, and it's so quiet, and I just.
I think that's the worst part about this whole situation. We went from 3 to 0, like it felt like overnight, like 2 years, and it is very quiet now. That's the weirdest part, is that you get into this routine. I mean, it took forever, and I'm not over Zoe and Marley either. You know, I don't think we'll ever be over our pups. Zoe would always lay there, and Diesel would always lay there. So now we're watching TV. You usually saw him, and explaining it to Remy has been really difficult.
She knows he's an avid, which makes me feel better.
I think that was the hardest thing, was trying to figure out how to explain where he was, because she's like so aware, so she knows he's not here, so she would ask where he was, and we try with Remy to always speak to her, not as an adult, but like just talk to her like a normal person and try to explain things, because she has so many questions. The other day, like, you were upset, and she told you not to be upset because Diesel was in heaven.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, as a parent, when your kid is like aware enough to like understand your animals are there and then they're not there, I still don't think she's like fully grasped it. Because today she asked where Diesel was, you know. She knows he's in heaven, but I don't think she understands necessarily what heaven is yet.
Because
But
she
it's
still
just-
asks about Marley and Zoe too.
She does. It's like, it's definitely one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Obviously, Zoe and Marley were super hard to do, and I don't want that to like go on.
No, it's not.
It's just,
They all,
it's just like,
each one of them.
I don't know. I mean, I had Diesel for 16 years, you know, of my personal life.
Yeah, and I had
And
Diesel
8 with you, you
8
know?
or 9 years with Diesel.
Yeah, and so I'm very unfamiliar with not having him and trying to like look at old photos and videos, and they're just like, I keep coming across these just like funny things, which make, you know, it's like, it makes me happy, but it makes me cry. And
That's how I'm getting through with Zoe and Marley, was the fact that there's so many videos, and there's so
and I
many
know
videos.
it's hard for you too. I haven't even like really given you,
No,
I'm
it's,
sorry. I haven't given you the chance to be sad, or
no,
I'm sorry about that.
no, that's how you, teamwork, we get through it together.
I just didn't want to wait any longer to do this because I just, honestly, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
The only thing that makes me feel good, take solace, is the same thing as with Zoe and Marley, was that they have so many memories.
Like, this is like the one thing, like,
Everyone's got like favorite Zoe, Marley, and Diesel memories.
I know, I agree. I'm glad that those seizures that he was having, my vet confirmed that he was not in pain, which
No,
makes
not in
me
pain.
feel so much better, right? Like, that made us feel a lot better. We gave him a good life, you know? I always have regrets, you know? I always feel like I could have done better. I do, I'm sorry, I do. But there's so many beautiful, funny things that I've been finding, you know? Like, one of my favorite photos of Diesel, put it on the screen, is like him when he was like, he was laying upside down in our bedroom. Remember, he was smiling upside down.
Upside down, yeah. That's another favorite photo in there too.
One of my favorite ones is he used to let me dress him up in my shorts and my tank top.
Yeah. The hat, he had that little hat on too. And to this day, that video of them all rolling
Yeah, in Yellowstone.
is still one of the funniest videos
I
of all
know.
3 of them.
So I feel like, I don't know, maybe you've noticed like that just the vlogs have been a little bit different, and I've definitely not been present on social media for like the past 3 months, and it's just because I've just been trying to spend time with him and my family, and you know, like take better care of him, you know what I mean? It just sucks. This sucks. I'm trying to focus on the good, but right now it's really hard. I'm really sad, that's all, and I'm so sorry if you're really sad too.
I'm just a dude. He was a punk, but he was a funny punk. It was just like Marley. She was a little punk, but she was funny. They all had their personalities.
I hate to start Thanksgiving week out like this. I feel like a couple of you picked up on it in the last vlog, but I don't know,
But yeah, we just wanted to say thank you guys so much for welcoming Diesel in the vlogs
thank you.
8 or 9 years ago. He's been a part of them in like half of these. There's like so many funny things about him and Zoe and Marley.
Very lucky. I'm just so
Him
happy
and Marley
we
were
had them.
always titans.
They loved each other.
Yeah.
And then they hated each other.
Yeah.
And then they loved well, they were like brother and sister.
Yeah.
Like in the
Yeah.
truest form. They used to get in like tiffs.
Little scuffles.
Yeah, and she did. She grabbed right onto
Yes.
the. She jumped on the back. Well,
Yeah,
there
like-
on his lip, but then I remember
He
she.
was just hanging on his
Yeah,
lip.
but I remember she jumped on the back of his head, like right here.
Oh yeah.
And
Yes.
grabbed onto his scruff.
It just wouldn't let go. I remember the lip one. She's dangling on his lip. And he's just looking around like, "Is this cool? Wait, what's going on with this?"
But she
It was funny.
intimidated him.
Yeah, they were all buddies.
I don't know, like get into a routine, you know. And
You have to like undo
I,
everything.
Like the hardest thing for me to do is like take his bed out, you know. I'm not ready to get rid of his balls yet, and I don't know. I'm just like I can't even go out back because his wagon's out there. It's just kind of. I'm sorry. I just.
Thank you so much for all the love you showed all 3
Yeah,
of the
thank
pups.
you guys. He's a really lucky boy. And so were all the dogs.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you a lot.
Trifecta.
So thank you so much. Thanks for watching them be so silly, you know?
We will see you guys in the next video. Yeah.